Today's lesson is 22, multiplying and dividing fractions, inverse property of multiplication. What's our objective, class? Get ready?
Multiplying and dividing fractions, inverse property of multiplication.
Very good. We're going to do all of that. We're going to multiply and divide by fractions. We're going to talk about the inverse property. Here's an application. When would you use this? How does multiplying and dividing fractions affect my life? So we've done the gallon man before. Here's our big gallon man. We talked about quarts. There's 4 queens, gallon land. 4 queens or quarts. If a quart is 1/4 of a gallon, so 1 quart is 1/4, and a pint is half of a quart, how much is a pint compared to the whole gallon? What fraction is a pint of the whole gallon? So graphically, using the gallon man, I could go, oh, okay, well, how many P's totally are in my gallon land? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 pints. I'm interested in one of them, so I got 1/8. Mathematically, I'm looking for what's 1/2 of 1/4? What's 1/2 of 1/4? Well, in math, of means times. What does of mean? Get ready? Multiplication. Times. I should use the right word. Multiplication, right? So we're going to multiply 1/2 times 1/4. The rule when you multiply fractions is you go straight across the top, 1 times 1, and you multiply across the bottom. I'm going to write down the name for talking to make sure our voices are off when I'm teaching. So it's 1/8. So again, we multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. Okay, so we already checked our answer with the gallon man. What about this graphical model? A lot of you have already seen that, but some have not seen a way to do this graphically with the model. So if this is 1 inch across by 1 inch across, half of it would be from here to here. Half of this one would be from here to here. So if I said a half times a half, it would make this square, right? A perfect area, half times half. Well, this shaded part is 1/4 of the whole part. Isn't 1/2 times 1/2 equal to 1/4? Straight across the top, multiply straight across the bottom. So yes. Here's another area model. You can even do it with thirds. So multiply 1/3 and 2/3 using an area model. So we're going to try to build a perfect square. Okay? It says 3 and 3, so that means I got to divide one side into thirds, and then the other side again into thirds. This one is going to be 1/3. This one's going to be, oh, I need 2/3. So here's a third, and here's a third. Do you guys agree? That's 2/3. Give me a nod if you agree. Okay. And then 1/3 would be right here. So 1/3 times 2/3 would be this shaded region. Well, how much is the shaded region as a fraction of the whole part? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 parts, and 2 of them are shaded. So my fraction should be 2 ninths. Check it mathematically. 1/3 times 2/3. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 3 is 9. So it works both ways. This is a good way to visualize for students that are new at it, but for big fractions I wouldn't do it. Just for the small ones, it kind of helps you see it. Of means times. What does of mean? Get ready?
Times.
Times. Or multiplication. So 3/4 of 8 ninths means 3/4 times 8 ninths. Let's multiply straight across the top. Some of you are cringing right now going, Mrs. Boone, you missed something. Lexi?
Cross multiply.
Cross, cancel, or cross reduce.
Cancel, yes.
Okay, how can I do that? Guide me through that.
4 goes into itself once, and then it goes into 8 twice.
Perfect.
And then 3, you can do it again.
3 goes
into itself once, and then it goes into 9 3 times.
Perfect. So see how I do that? She says 3 goes into itself once, it goes into 9 3 times. Now look what's left. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. So wait, 24 over 36 equals 2/3?
Yep.
Yeah. If I were to divide out my greatest common factor, a 12, I would get 2/3. So yes, it's good to cross cancel before you ever divide. All right, what number is, 2/3 times 3/2? Can we cross cancel there? And I get 1. 2 goes into itself once, all that ones, I get a 1. So there's a property for that. Whenever you take a fraction and you multiply it by its reciprocal, and you get 1, its reciprocal is called the multiplicative inverse. What is it called? Get ready?
Multiplicative inverse.
I know. Why can't we just call it reciprocal? It's easier. So multiplicative inverse. Just think of, oh yeah, I'm inverting it and then multiplying. The answer would be 1. Okay? Multiplicative inverse. So let's try a couple of those. It means the same thing as reciprocal, right? Reciprocal would be flip it upside down. So the reciprocal of 5 over 6 is 6/5. The multiplicative inverse of 3, oh, it's a whole number. How do I flip this one, Lexi? You could do 1/3. I could do 1 over 3 because every whole number has a invisible 1 under it. So this is the multiplicative inverse. If you cook in the kitchen, these next few examples might ring a bell. How many 1/4 are in 1? I would think cups of sugar. How many quarter cups are in a cup? How many is it? Get ready? 4. I think most of us knew that. Let's do it mathematically. How many 1/4 would it take to get 1? So what I times by to get a 1, Jasmine?
It's the inverse one, so it's 4 over 1.
4 over 1. Very good. So just flip it. This is the multiplicative inverse. Same rule for this one. How many 2/3 are in 1? I would do the inverse, 3/2. All right. What if I had the question 2 divided by 3/4? What if I said how many 3/4 fit in 2? Right? We're going to use the copy dot flip method. Copy dot flip. So first I'm going to make a fraction, but I'm going to copy it. 2 over 1. Change the divide to a dot and flip the second fraction. Copy dot flip. What's the rule, class? Get ready?
Copy dot flip.
Copy dot flip. Then multiply straight across the top. This morning I've seen a lot of people trying to add. We're multiplying. 2 times 4 is 8. 1 times 3 is 3. Can I leave my answer like that?
Yep.
In course 3, you can. Okay, we love improper fractions. Just leave it like that. If you were going to go cook some bread and need to know how many cups of flour this is, you better do this and say, okay, it goes in twice, 6, subtract, I get 2, remainder of 2, and denominator becomes in 3. Oh, I need 2 2/3 cups of flour. Or if you're going to Home Depot and you need a board cut, you better tell them that number. All right, so let's try another one. A quart is 1/4 of a gallon and a pint's 1/8. We've already done that one. So how many 8ths are in a 4th? Again, I'm thinking cooking. Here's an 1/8 of a cup. A 1/4 of a cup. They're kind of small. Well, I'm thinking an 1/8 of a cup. That's like half the size. And usually cooking sets don't have 1/8 of a cups. So I always like eyeball it. Well, I would know, oh, there's one here and there's one here. There's 2 of them. So I know there's 2, but mathematically, how many 8ths does it take to equal 1/4? See how I set that up? How many 8ths? Is it 1/8? Is it there 2 of them? Is there 3 of them? So how am I going to do this? Well, let me rewind. Okay. How would I solve how many 2's are in 10? Wouldn't I take the 10 and divide by 2? And I'd get 5, right? Can I take the 1/4 and divide by 1/8? I like that you're nodding. It's making sense. Good. So 1/4 divided by 1/8 should give me my answer right there. All right. So copy dot flip. What's the rule, class? Get ready?
Copy dot flip.
Copy dot flip. Only do copy dot flip if it's a divide. So copy the first, change it to a dot, flip the second, multiply. Oh, hey, before we multiply, let's cross cancel. I got too many markers. 4 goes into itself once, 4 goes into 8 twice. We get 1 times 2 on the top, 1 times 1 on the bottom. Simplify, and we get 2. Hey, isn't that what we set up here? There's 2 8ths in a 4th cup. How many of you cook? All right, very good. How many of you, this is random, how many of you have played board games before? Okay, a lot of you. I had a wise math teacher once say that students who have cooked and who have played board games are usually have a little better concept of math, of numbers. So, all right, your turn. Will you solve, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger, 3/4 divided by 1/3 on your paper. As soon as you've got the answer, put your pencil up. I'm going to come around and check. Okay, so we copy the first one, change the division to a dot, flip the second one, multiply straight across. So 3 times 3 is 9. There's your 4 times 1 is 4. And improper is okay in course 3. You can leave it just like that, 9/4. Page 150. You guys did awesome.